Hello and welcome back to another game of Dota 2. Well, I say another game, but it's been a while. There has been a break in StarLadder, but we are having 5 days of StarLadder in a row before we have ourselves another break due to EMS. But today we also have 5 games, and I am joined by the one, the only VIII. Welcome back.
I don't know if I'm the only. That's a pretty bold statement. There could be another one running around somewhere.
I know that there is another Shiva running around somewhere, but not in the Dota.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There was for a short period of time a Swedish death metal band named VIII.
Well,
no, I wasn't involved, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Yeah, they would have probably, well, never mind. It would be interesting to see you play in that band.
I'm not yeah, I'm not a super death metal-y kind of guy, but...
Well, we've got ourselves a game between the unbeaten team, NEXT.kz. They're on the Radiant side for this game, and they're up against the so far, well, always beaten team, I guess you can call them that.
Wow.
Well, it's true though, they've only played 2 games. So just to quickly drop to the score so you know what it looks like, we see that NEXT.kz has played 4 games and won all 4. Flipside has played 2 and has lost both. And I mean, we can't really tell too much yet about the scores that we see here from all the teams that you see because there are so many games still to be played. Yeah. But, I mean, for NEXT.kz, they are doing really well. They're on the right track for this.
Yeah, they are, and they're doing it not with, like, from the games I've seen, it's not that they're, like, doing tons and tons of pocket picks. They're just playing pretty standard 6.79 Dota. Like you see in these picks, it's just completely standard Visage, Crystal Maiden. They've played Crystal Maiden 5 times this patch, I think. They just play Lifestealer, Visage, all the normal heroes, and they do really well with them. That said, their opponents haven't been the strongest teams in the draw. They've played, I know 4FC, I think they played maybe Poseidon. So, like, the teams are okay, but we'll still see today what NEXT.kz is made of, I think, especially in the Empire game.
Yeah, I think, like, as you said, they have been playing just solid Dota, just, you know, nothing spectacular, nothing really that stands out specifically, like, oh, they love to pick this hero a lot. But I'm still hoping, because of that, that they have some kind of pocket strat that they will use up against those, you know, higher star-struck teams. So, because it's only best of 1, and if you're able to surprise one of the opponents with some kind of pocket strat, I think that I'm hoping that NEXT.kz will pull something out in the next game, because indeed, like the game after this one will be the game where they face Empire. So, we'll first, of course, see how they do up against Flipside, and supports all over the place. Visage, Crystal Maiden, Venomancer, such high priority picks.
Definitely. A lot of teams are either picking... I don't know of any team that still consistently picks 2 cores first. You have to lock at least one of your supports, sometimes both. The typical thing is 1 support and one core for whoever your position is with the least hero depth. So that's... Flipside is a very typical pick order here. NEXT.kz taking both supports is a little rarer. Mantis is a player with a pretty broad pool of 1-role heroes. The only thing I worry about, and I worry about this for NEXT.kz in general, is they're a fairly 4-protect-1 oriented team. In the past, they've typically given Mantis some sort of hard carry, and then just had Wadafaka on like a role-playing mid like Dragon Knight, and just gone with that, but I don't think that's really viable in 6.79. So in this patch, they're relying more on Wadafaka to really provide like star power on heroes like Storm and stuff. And he's a really underrated player, actually.
Yeah, it's been working out. I mean, unbeaten, it shows for itself. I have to say I'm kind of worried for Flipside in this matchup because they've, from my point of view, they're a fairly new team, as in we've seen a couple of these players before, of course, but they haven't been playing as a team for such a long time, and it shows. And I mean, that's one of the things that NEXT.kz has got going for them for all this time. They've been with about the same roster, and they are synergized so well. And I think that's something that Flipside really misses, so I'm hoping that for their sake, it won't be of too much of an impact and they can rely on their individual skill. As you said, by the way, what the fuck, a Storm Spirit, I think we're gonna see it again.
Yeah, I think this is almost their go-to for getting a big impact out in the mid for him, because he's able to rotate more effectively. Storm is just probably the most mobile mid you can get. Everybody else is going to either have to TP places or things like that, but as long as you manage your mana well, Storm Spirit's going to be extremely strong. But the Lifestealer pick and response is good too. He's able to live through a lot of that damage. It also... the main thing with this Lifestealer pick is not only that it's a very high tier hero, but if they had let it go, I think like 90% chance NEXT.kz would pick it.
that Storm Stealer bomb. It's not to be messed with. What kind of carry are you expecting here for NEXT.kz instead? I mean, if you're having a Crystal Maiden and a Visage and you are on the Radiant side, the potential for an aggressive tri-lane is still very much there.
Yeah.
Even though Lifestealer Venomancer is not an easy lane to go up against, regardless of what other support they pick up.
Bristleback is what they should take. I don't know if they will take him, but they should. He's good against both those heroes.
You mean on the side of NEXT.kz, right?
Yeah. Radiant should take Bristleback. He's good with Crystal Maiden. He's good with Visage. He's good again. He's amazing against Veno. He trashes Venomancer. Like the hero has no chance against Bristleback.
Well, even though I'm kind of expecting Mirana now to be
farming
on the,
Mirana though. Yeah.
Yeah, on the tri lane, it could be still. I mean, in theory, you can put Mirana on the safe lane by herself.
Yeah, you can. It depends on the matchup. Against if it's Clockwork, she should be okay.
Yeah, I think she can be.
They
so
could
far,
also go like something like Luna, but I don't know. I don't think this team really picks Bristle that much, so I don't. Again, I don't think it will happen. But if this was IG, they would insta lock Bristle.
Well, so far, Flipside is the one to pick first. Now they've already got one support. They still have a luxury position of perhaps putting something in the jungle, but they could be expecting an aggressive tri-lane, in which case they'll be looking for a strong support. Rubik is still in the pool. We still, of course, are going to have the bans first. They pick up a puck, though, of course, strong against that Storm Spirit, and with that silence, one of the counters against Storm Spirit later on in the game. So this mid matchup is going to be really important to see who reaches level 6 first, and who gets ahead.
Yeah, I think the puck pick is really good. In general, Flipside, their draft's been more reactive, but I really like it. So I think the Lifestealer pick was really good. The puck pick is pretty critical. It gives another vector to get Lifestealer into fights as well. Now that Clockwork and Puck can bring him in. And of course, yeah, the silence. You're going to see Storm Spirit probably having to go BKB as his second major item. If he has a really bad game, then it's going to be his first major item. But generally, if you're going BKB first, you've usually already lost. But so yeah, especially with Mirana. There's no backup for Storm Spirit having a bad game. If Storm Spirit has a bad game, Mirana won't be able to do anything.
True. Although, unless the Storm Spirit is Sharfik. Somehow I find him always able to come back, even if he is behind at the start.
Yeah, Sharfik's Storm is pretty epic. I think people like first ban it against him these days.
Yeah, and actually...
As soon as he put it as his avatar, like...
That's true. Although lately, actually, his team, he has not been the one playing the Storm Spirit, which has been quite disappointing. And the Rubik gets banned out. Understandable. Flip side, they need a support. They need a support with a disable, because even though they've got nice slows and a silence and cogs, they still need something to hold someone in place. And Rubik would have done great. Would you expect something like a Lion or Shadow, a Shaman for flip side in this case?
They could probably pull it off. I actually think Lion would be a pretty okay choice, because he's good against Storm relatively. If he's not the guy getting jumped on, he can chain disables with Puck. So yeah, they could go for that. I actually don't think Rubik would have been that strong. There's stuff he can steal certainly, but not that much. Like he can steal Visage spells, but he can still arrow, I guess leap, but it's not that great of a set of spells for Rubik to actually take. And if you don't have that, Rubik is not that great of a pick. Like, I don't know if you watched the Hotbed interview with Kuroki from DreamHack.
Not yet.
But Kuroki is like the Rubik, and he spent like 5 minutes crapping on the hero. He was like, this is a terrible hero now.
I wasn't expecting that one. Still have to watch some of the interviews that have been done.
Yeah, the cooldowns are just really long on his spells. Like, if you only get one Fade Bolt and one Telekinesis per fight, I hope you steal some good spells, because those are not great to cast once per fight.
No, definitely not. Too long of a cooldown to be able to rely on them for a longer period of time, or for a shorter period of time.
Yeah, and he can't mid, because obviously the base damage nerf. He's just, honestly, he's like a strong hero who's just been nerfed so many times that he's a little bit more questionable.
I like the Lone Druid pick from NEXT.kz. I'm thinking we're gonna indeed see an aggressive tri-lane, Lone Druid on the safe lane. Up against the Clockwork, also a fairly decent hero. And I also like the Bane pickup, because of course, now you can hold the Storm Spirit in place, you can enfeeble the Mirana. And it's already so difficult to last hit with Mirana to begin with. She has a fairly low base attack damage. So if that Bane is indeed gonna be up against an aggressive tri-lane with the Mirana, she is gonna be at quite a disadvantage unless they get kills.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic point. I think honestly he's probably not gonna skill until he sees the lane arrangement. And if it is Mirana, I agree with you. I think Enfeeble first could just be really, really good. But I think NEXT.kz was smart too. I've seen them play Lone Druid before, so it's not like it's a hero they don't know. And it's a diversification move. Like, even if Storm Spirit doesn't have the best game and Mirana doesn't win her lane, you still have Lone Druid that potentially is farming and is going to be very effective. I think most likely Equal should go like a not super greedy build. So like if he goes very, very slow, then he doesn't sort of hedge against the team's performance. But if he goes like a solid build, then or his team does well, then you could just see NEXT.kz completely out carrying. Because Flipside really only has Lifestealer for damage later.
Yeah, that is indeed true. Lone Druid, it will be the one to watch out for. Like, he will be a ticking time bomb for Flipside. They'll have to find their sweet spot to move around and try and slow him down in his farming. And of course, Clockwork has to also try to help out. As soon as he reaches level 6, I don't think he can do anything on the lane anymore. He needs to find kills and force everybody of NEXT.kz to be busy with him.
I completely agree. I think Clockwork, you really can't win the lane against Lone Druid. It's the Lone Druid really has to mess up for you to win that. But you can level. Like, Lone Druid can't push you off the lane out of XP range. He can push you off, like, you'll lose on last hits, because especially if he goes Orb of Venom, he's just going to be constantly whacking you with a bear and being annoying. But you should still be able to hit 6, you can rotate. And Clockwork, he doesn't have to have a good lane phase to do well. All he has to do is get levels.
Yeah, it looks like we have got a different kind of laning matchup than I thought we would. Let's take a look on who is playing what. On the side of Flipside, well, we have an instant smoke with the Bane being played by VIII. And Wicked Sick playing the Venomancer, and they've smoked up, and they'll see if they can perhaps roam and already shut down that Lone Druid. They will be having the Lifestealer on the lane as well, and Light will be playing that one. And then in the mid lane, it is Heart or Love, however you want to call him. It's playing the Puck. And last but not least is Aloha Dance. He's playing the Clockwork, but we're going to be rotating back bottom because looks like Equal might be in some trouble. There's a Nightmare, there's a Gale. And that's going to be trouble for him. Gale, open wounds, eating him up. Lone Druid, he is a goner for sure. There's no way he's going to go out of this alive. First blood spilled. That's something you can do to shut down a Lone Druid.
Yeah, and this is part and parcel. This is a situation where it was a very smart laning decision from Flipside, I think. I think NEXT.kz expected it to be the 1v1, but safe lane is so dangerous now, like... For a solo laner, it's almost harder to be on Radiant here in the safe lane than it is in the so-called hard lane. So, NEXT.kz, it's going to be the tri-lane top is Mantis on the Mirana, Reeves on the Visage, and Amazing. Is this a rename? I'm not sure who this is.
No, it's actually Amazing. He's been playing with NEXT.kz for a while.
Oh, okay. I guess this season of StarLadder.
Yeah, this
And then in the middle, it's What the Fuck on the Storm Spirit, and in the bottom, it's Equal on the Lone Druid.
Yeah, and still having a bit of issues here with these two supports. I'm wondering if they are going to rotate, but first they're going to try to take a retaliation kill. Clockwork, though, he pops the cogs, and he should be okay. The creep wave still tanking up the tower. Actually, now it goes up on Mantis. He has to be careful here, because the tower is still hurting a lot here. And I think a lower dance will be just fine.
Yeah, good defensive play.
Yeah, they have to rotate lanes, I think. They have something.
They may have to. I mean, take a look at Equal down here. He hasn't even resummoned the bear. Like, the bear has not come back up since he respawned because he doesn't want to feed it again. So that's how rough of a lane this is, that he feels like he can't even summon the bear. And meanwhile, Flipside are just rotating into middle, I think. Is Bane in Viserin? Yeah, he's got Rude. This is going to be a much harder kill, though. This is going to be tricky.
Yeah, especially since Storm just couriered.
Ah, no, never mind. Maybe they'll get it.
Well, Nightmare. Let's see what they can do. In comes the Gale as well. Orb will fly through as well. What the fuck? Taking quite a bit of a beating. Orb will do the job. It will kill him off. Reeves comes in too late. Perhaps the Soul Assumption gets dodged. Heart. He'll live.
Nice timing.
Very nice timing. 2-0. Flipside, the underdog in this matchup. They're showing renewed spirit here after the weekend.
Yeah, to be fair, Flipside has to do well early. I mean, they gotta get a lot out of these support rotations. You really want that Venomancer to be making an impact with the Gale. Oh, they smoke again. Yeah, you can see yes, they're doing well, but they're kind of on the clock in the first place because they're facing a Tricore. So they have to consistently be able to produce kills. And that's why you see them expending so much time and effort, energy on the smokes.
Yeah, Equal has just summoned his bear again, so if they indeed are able to kill him off, which will be tough because there is a ward this time that Equal scouts them out with. Well, if they can kill him off again, that will be a big deal, but for now they'll not succeed. Reeves has continued to rotate middle as well.
Yeah, they lost their smoke, so
Yeah.
he's very cognizant. One thing that Equal's doing that's cool, check out where the bear is. It's body blocking, so they can't come in and dive him under tower.
That's pretty neat, actually. We could say we'll pull the group wave a bit behind, but yeah, that won't matter. At least he'll get experience. Like, he's not getting a lot of farm, but if he gets experience later on, I mean, the moment he reaches level 5, he can play a lot more cocky than what he is now.
Yeah. Really, the good thing for them is actually, wow, Puck taking a lot of damage in the mid, but Storm is at 6, so he can't die. Oh wow.
That's slow. What the fuck, might be in some trouble here because the bottle Vortex still there. What the fuck, can he make it through? No, he can't. Puck takes the kill.
Yeah,
Very
that was
nice control.
I agree. It was kind of What the Fuck's fault. He didn't have to take that fight. Once he saw that the bottle had been successfully delivered, I think the math was not in his favor at all.
Yeah. No, that bottle helped Puck staying alive. We have a Hand of Midas up on the Lifestealer. Lifestealer has been getting decent form, by the way. I mean, nobody is really shutting him down at all. So he's 26-8. He is actually the highest last hitter on the map. Closely followed by the Mirana, who now also got 26 last hits. But Mantis doing very nice here on the top lane. Clockwork not really getting that much apart from experience.
Yeah, I do think this is fairly troublesome, though, for NEXT.kz, because the heroes they have that aren't farming effectively, particularly Lone Druid, are relatively farm-dependent, whereas Clockwork is leveling okay. It's not insane, but it's really good considering it was a 3 vs 1. And now NEXT.kz have rotated away, so we're going to see Clock get a really easy 6, honestly.
Yep, and comes supports, amazing. Oh, Nightmare attempted to be done by Bowick. Nova, Frostbite, Gale, amazing. He is gonna be dead very soon, but Soul Assumption comes in. It is the Venomancer that drops first. Nice deny coming off. Crystal Maiden dies, but by his own teammate. In comes Motherfucker. Vortex up on Buick. That's gonna be one Bane with the Soul Assumption taken down. Another kill for the Visage. One on his teammate, one on the enemy, I guess. But nice rotations coming in for Motherfucker.
Yeah, it was very critical timing. Again, it's another trade-off. Like, I'm sure he wasn't super happy about this because it does mean that he's at a level and a half disadvantage to the puck. Anytime Storm spins out of lane, unless he's getting lots of solo kills, he's really losing equity in the lane. But they really, really needed to stop that rotation and not lose... Excuse me, sorry, I sneezed. Not lose more than one hero.
Okay, we didn't hear you sneeze. You closed your microphone.
In-game heard me sneeze, just mumbled it.
Well, that's what you miss if you go in-game. Ooh, look at this. Puck is on the hunt. He's not alone, though. Enlight is sitting inside of him. This is the first time that he leaves the lane, and it looks like they really want to take down the Storm. Storm, who is still level 5.
He's
very close to level 6. Oh, there we go. Now he can get himself away. But Silence first. Open Wound still there. Can he get himself away? Ball Lightning should be there. The Vortex, he actually turns around. Goes on Enlight. Not planning on backing off. Still has to be careful. Will be able to pick up the Lifestealer and now zips himself away. Home save.
No.
Orb! Oh, Storm Spirit goes down anyway.
Presumably a pity.
Well, that happened.
That did happen. I think that kill would have been... They wouldn't have lost the Lifestealer if Puck had... the Orb first build is much better for harassment, but it's really not great against Storm Spirit because he could have just killed him by having more time on Waiting Rift and not a 0.75 second silence, but it's okay. They still got the kill, but trading Lifestealer for it is a really bad trade.
Yeah, he is the only one that's been free farming, and as you said, the only real core. In the meantime, Visage might be in some trouble. Goes for the Grave Chill. We'll be able to move a bit faster. Courier, what are you doing? Well, that's a dead Courier. That happened. Hook shot in, up on equal. Buick will still die, but it looks like Lone Druid will go down with him. He goes invisible. Moonlight Shadow comes out, no detection. The bear might feel the wrath, but even that nice block. The bear will be denied.
Nice!
Oh, Reeves' second deny of the game. So important.
That's actually incredibly sick. That play saved them with 300 gold and 300 XP. Like, that's incredibly important, that deny. It's more important than denying a hero, actually.
That's insane. And Moonlight Shadow, perfect timing coming up from Mirana, who's just still happily free farming top, who now is, because of that rotation of Enlight, she is way ahead of Enlight himself. And she also has a Hand of Midas.
Yeah, it's a pretty smart pickup because the other two lanes aren't doing so hot, so it's very important for the Mirana to be able to farm effectively. Yeah, Mirana's kind of like, we used to talk about Nyx Assassin and how Nyx is good because it forces detection from the team because they know that Nyx could be there. Mirana's kind of the same thing, except she does anybody globally, so you feel like without detection you just it makes you look like an idiot a lot.
Yeah, and I would hope that supports now have picked something up. Yeah, Bane picked up Dust, so Sentry Wards on the Venomancer, Dust on the Bane. That will be helping out a lot next time something like that happens. It's like in a competitive game, it shouldn't happen, but if it does happen, it will only happen once. Next time, they will be prepared a lot more than they were before. We had a bit of a rotation coming up from Hart.
Radiant's middle tower
He
is under attack.
looked to be going to find the storm. I have to say, considering he is so fairly decent high on net worth as Bane goes down on the top lane Storm Spirit rotation, but I'm kind of disappointed with Puck's farm somehow. I mean, he's got treads, which is nice, but that's about it.
He could be more ahead in the lane than he is. I mean, he hasn't died. He has
True.
2-0-1. But
That's
yeah,
right.
he could definitely... I mean, he had to make some rotations as well, so he's sort of walked around trying to get kills. And he carried Lifestealer for a bit, from the bottom to the mid. So, yeah, he could be farther ahead of Wadafaka, especially because Wadafaka's putting kills. Here comes another one, yeah. This is actually not great, because even though Storm had a rough start, he has 3 deaths, but now he's almost caught up to the Puck.
Yeah, Puck,
Oh,
who's
nice kills
also
in the mid, though.
making a comeback. They managed to pick up the clockwork on the NEXT.kz side. Oh, freezing field! That's gonna be one dead Puck.
Formation.
And
it
a
ends up
tangle.
being a 1-for-1 here in the mid lane. 1 for 2?
1 for 1 because Clock... Oh no, 1 for 2 because Clockwork. That started with a hook shot from Clock. Lone Druid is very tanky, so if they don't have Lifestealer in the fight, they really don't have enough damage to kill Lone Druid. Like, who else is providing damage? Veno doesn't have ultimate. He's not even close.
Bane. Everybody just coming top to feed on the Storm Spirit. It seems like Boic will be able to pick up or to die again. Tries to deny himself, can't make it happen. Motherfucker with the haste rune.
You have learned
Nothing can be done to him. I mean, Motherfucker has been here for how many times? Like 3 minutes? 2 minutes? He's been able
Yeah,
to pick
a
up 3
while.
kills on supports.
Yeah, they're kind of just, as you said, feeding the Storm Spirit, which is really bad against this lineup, because you're moving from... You know that they have only 1 farmed hero, and then you get them so many kills that now they're, like, okay on all 3. Like, their net worth is still behind Puck and Lifestealer, but it's narrowed by about 500, 600.
Yeah, and it should be higher. As you mentioned earlier on, I mean, they have to get the early game. Like, Flipside has to get the early game as a strong start, because later on, they'll be outnumbered in terms of cores. And right now, they have to rotate to try and continue to keep pressure on, and that rotation frees up Equal to farm a bit more, because he's now sitting on 3k gold.
Yeah, and they really... I'm not going to say they missed their window just yet, but they did expend so much time on these rotations that now that they're not working, look at the levels of the supports. They're really behind.
Radiant's bottom tower
Level
is
4 and
under
level
attack.
5. Too many rotations with not enough time on the lanes, basically.
Veno
And-
really needs ult in this game too. Like, where's the damage without Veno ult?
Yeah, they need the Fiend's Grip as well for the Storm Spirit, otherwise how are you gonna get him? Just a silence at some point is not gonna be enough, because he's gonna be too farmed. And we do have 5 heroes now in this bottom lane though. They will be able to pick up the tower, 5 heroes or not, and Light will take it. But
Yeah.
from this, if they don't take the tier 2 as well, or if they find a fight that would be going their way, they have to find something like that. Otherwise there's just been a rotation for 3 people for nothing.
Oh, Mantis. Nicely timed arrow. So Enlight comes in and he's already at half health. He might have to use his ultimate.
Yep.
Yep.
Does do that, and he will be able to deny the tower. That's gonna be nice for Flipside. They need something like that.
Dire's top
Yeah, the
Delay
issue
next
is that
to
every decision Flipside has made costs levels. Like, the decision to even fight... Oh, Enlight's dead.
Yep.
Now he doesn't have the
Starstorm.
ultimate.
In comes the Puck, still jumps in, silence up on both player, hook shot, Mantis drops, motherfucker will be able to zip himself out, but very low on mana, 1 brain step from Boic would do the job. Oh, that bottle, look at him heal up the regen rune, talk about luck, he should be able to make it out safely, not very high on mana anymore, and he actually has
It'll
got
be
a hate
tough.
train following him. 4 versus 1, let's see how far he gets. In comes Heart Nightmare.
nice Nightmare.
That should be doing the trick. Oh, dodge scale, not making it up the high ground. Battery assault, that's gonna be the kill right there. Well, he did waste time of 4 people in that time, and in that time, Visage was able to take a tier 1 mid.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know if I agree with the CTY style double null talisman. Like, I understand he wanted to buy out, but
Yeah.
most of his gold was reliable, so he didn't need to. The second null, I feel, is almost a complete waste, unless he goes the secret Veiled Dagon build that's so underrated.
Oh, I never know if you're trolling at that point or if you're actually serious.
I'm actually not sure either, 'cause it doesn't seem that bad, but Dagon, you have to be way ahead to make Dagon
Yeah.
justified.
You know, it could work,
Dire's top
but
tower is under attack.
It's you know who Veil Dagon's really good on, unironically, Necrolite. It's a really good try to
That's
up
true.
sometime.
just go for the Reaper Scythe and then do everything like before the scythe actually hits, and you should be able to.
Missed hook shot.
Oh.
Mantis is just doing great. I mean, he got lucky there. Oh my
Oh,
god.
blinks forward. Love, looking for something. Dream Coil, that would be Mantis dead. In comes the cavalry, a bit too late, but he'll still be able to pick up the clockwork. Or should he? Or will he? He should be able to. Zip forward. That Gale really slowing him down though, but he still gets the kill in the end. Won't be killed up, shouldn't be killed up. Tries to TP out. And that's something he can do with relative ease.
Just as I say, Mantis is doing really well. He overextends majorly. Sorry, Mantis.
It was his second death. He was doing really well, though, I have to say. I mean, highest level on the map, highest farmed hero for his team. It's actually Lifestealer that is highest on net worth overall, and he has finished his armlet right now. So I would say that right now, in this moment, before Lone Druid finishes up his Radiance, which he should actually be getting quite soon. Yeah, he already has the relic, just needs a couple of 100 gold for the recipe. But this is the place and the time for Enlight and his team to start making things happen, laying down the pressure.
Yeah. The issue is that they still don't. Oh my god, yeah, Puck's probably dead.
Yep, frostbitten with the haste rune or not. He gets zipped after by. What the fuck?
Nice.
I want it! Need it! Oh, the orb! It is enough!
It was, he got the high ground miss, so really, really lucky. Wadafaka tried to missed as he went high ground, so really nice play by Puck. The good phase shift, and he got a little bit lucky. But overall, yeah, he survives. The problem with them forcing fights is they have Fiend's Grip, but they still don't have Gale. Sorry, they still don't have Poison Nova. But maybe with Surprise they can still win. But Radiance shouldn't make too much of a difference. I think they can win a fight if they get a jump on like 2 people or 3 people.
Well, Flipside is trying to make something happen. They've smoked up with an infested Lifestealer inside of the Puck. They've got the Blink Dagger on him as well. Book is following.
Dead.
And that's going to be indeed equal. Silenced up, killed off. Cavalry not even going to try to do anything. Actually,
Whoa,
those wards! Those wards! Those Vandermancer plays! Nicely done, amazing. In a bit of trouble here also, what the fuck? He got hookshot upon. Oh, freezing field. That will stop them from going in. Actually, does quite a bit of damage still on the Puck. Just slowing them down,
Really good
though.
positioning. That was really clever of Crystal Maiden. Standing right here behind the trees, hitting everybody right here. They really can't approach because, yeah, for obvious reasons. That was great.
Mantis silenced up. Brain set. I'm not sure what he was still doing there. He will leap away, but he'll die to the Dream Coil as Venomancer actually gets nuked down by Visage's Soul Assumption.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. I think Mantis' positioning there was really bad. The thing is, when you die like that, you're giving... So those last 2 kills gave Veno 6, so... It doesn't matter that Veno dies. He now has Buckler, so he's moving towards his mech. And I don't know. The fact that you gave Veno Poison Nova for no good reason means that the next fight will be easier for Flipside, probably.
It should be. They will have, and with NEXT.kz will have Moonlight Shadow next fight. And I'm actually thinking they could be in the position to just turn and burn in this time. Especially if already Flipside uses a Fiend's Grip at the start of the fight and uses the Blink Infest to initiate. If NEXT.kz can back out with the Moonlight Shadow, they can turn and burn and probably take the fight instead. They're in no rush to try though, so I guess they'll be happy with just farming a little while longer.
Yeah, NEXT.kz, I mean, they've got such a better late game lineup that they're very comfortable, especially because Wadafaka, did he sell the second null? Yeah, he did. Yeah. No, it's being delivered back to him. Never mind, he didn't sell it. But he is going BKB first. I think maybe with the 2 nulls, he feels that he's on a solid enough footing that he can just get the BKB. It's hard not to against Puck, and Veno as well, honestly.
Yeah, Puck with an invisible.
Problem is, like, they can still lock him down. I mean, they've got Hookshot, they've got Fiend's Grip.
And looks like Flipside is hoping to force something out on the top lane, but at the same time, NEXT.kz is on the march on the tier 1 bottom. And they'll probably just exchange towers. In which case, well, Puck and the infested Lifestealer won't be able to do anything. Lifestealer actually is almost wasting some time for that on the Hand of Midas.
The problem for Flipside here is they can trade towers, but their push is much slower.
Yeah.
I mean, this Lone Druid hasn't even used Battle Cry, so he knew going into the tier 1 that they would be taking tier 1 and 2. Tier 2 will be down before Flipside have even the tier 2.
Yep, they can even teleport in. They're actually gonna go further, trying to force Flipside back.
Yeah, I think this is the right call, probably. They can do some damage to this tier 3. Again, the tier 2 isn't even down, so...
Well, in comes Bane, he'll be arrowed. Vortex, wow. That's not the right place to teleport to. That's 1 down, 4 to go. Buyback there instantly from the Bane, though. He needs to be there if a fight breaks out. The bear already taken down the tower. Half HP, blink in, Dream Coil up on 4, but the Moonlight Shadow is there. Sentry Ward as well, hook shot in, up on motherfucker, Cogs, Soul Assumption, down you go, Clockwork. Kambuik just came back, already being forced back. Soul Assumption won't kill him off just yet, but motherfucker might be doing the job. One more hit, there he goes, open wounds on the bear. The bear will take a fall, Motherfucker as well, but in the meantime, Enlight, he gets forced back. The only real damage dealer of Flipside drops.
No buyback.
And no buyback, indeed. Frostbite up on the puck. He will be taken down as well.
Comes out of towers,
oh
maybe.
my god. He makes it out. 2 heroes left alive
Okay,
on
yeah, they're
Flipside.
screwed. They're so screwed, because now they lose the racks.
Yeah.
I think that the game decision made by whoever Flipside's captain is was kind of weak. Oh, well, no, they're gonna leave, but they lose a tier 3. They lose so much off of that fight. And it all came down to the decision to trade towers with Lone Druid, which we've seen so many teams do that, and you should never do that.
You should never do that. Next time NEXT.kz is on that bottom lane, racks will drop like flies. I mean, Flipside was still able to take the tier 2 top, which is nice.
Yeah,
they got some extra gold from it, but they lost it instantly the moment that they teleported back. I mean, we had people die, buy back, and then die again.
Back. Lifestealer died, like... Yes, Storm died again for like the trillionth time, but they're just using Storm as like a battering ram to absorb a bunch of spells. The real danger is the fact that Lone Druid is now pretty scary at pushing.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Lone Druid he was forced to summon his bear again, but that's not really that much of an issue. Especially not if you were able to take down that main core hero with 1 bear.
Yeah,
Just summon him.
I don't love Veno's build, by the way. I don't know.
Skipping ulti?
Yeah, I don't generally think you should. Like, the damage is really important for fights like this. I've seen people do it before, and it's okay, but in this particular game... I mean, yeah, his ancient farming is better, but... and his push is a little better, but again, the decision to try to counter-push a team that has Radiant's Lone Druid is weird, so...
Hey, what do you think of, no Hand of Midas on any of the supports?
Hand of Midas is vastly overrated right now. NEXT.kz can't afford to put Midas on the supports because you go from having 3 cores to 4 cores or 5 cores, and the lineup is already unstable enough that you can't afford to go any deeper than that. Flipside could go Hand of Midas on supports, but the problem is that the supports started, like, they weren't farming at all, and they weren't getting enough kills to actually get that early Midas. And now they're behind enough that now they can't afford to either.
Yep, and Clockwork goes
It's not
down.
that it's like, yeah, like, support Hand of Midas is really good in some situations, but
Yeah.
neither team were ever in a situation this particular game where they could do it.
Fair enough. Surprised Clockwork was still hanging around there. He did see the Moonlight Shadow being going off. Perhaps, did they do it under the smoke? Because that could be the case. Then in that case I missed that one. But they pick up a Clockwork, and without that initiation power, there's no way that they can contest Roshan, so NEXT.kz will take that. Should be taking that without any further battles, unless Puck wants to be making a big play, which seems to be the case. Smoked up, has got a Lifestealer inside of him, and they're gonna try to steal the Aegis. Yeah, they go up on Amazing first. They will be able to take down the Crystal Maiden, but Vortex there on the Puck. Puck drops, Lifestealer alone, Entangled, and also the target of everybody's rage. Fiend's Grip doesn't matter because there's nobody to do the damage. Hookshot in, Clockwork back alive, will be able to help take down the Storm Spirit with help of the Puck that just bought back as well.
Wow.
Mantis will drop as well. 2 heroes dead extra next to the Crystal Maiden. One
Veno got
buyback
out
for
at,
that. They
like,
stopped the
50
Roshan
HP.
attempt.
Yeah, they did. Veno didn't die. Puck did have to buy back, but
Yeah.
it's kind of worth it, I think.
That was a lot better than I thought that fight would go for them.
The Puck buyback did a lot, but Equal's actually back in the pit. This is really bold. There's no hookshot for 20 seconds, so maybe he feels comfortable because of that.
Well,
but his
the bear
bear is
might
so
actually
low. This
die.
is weird.
There is a resummon on the bear, but, you know.
He's gonna get this stolen. He's absolutely gonna
Oh
get
my
this
god,
stolen.
if he gets an entangle. Nope. Cogs. The bear, not enough. Wicked Sick coming in as well as Love. Gale equal blocked in. We can't go anywhere now. The bear. Wicked Sick Moa has to use a mechanism. Those familiar birds are killing him right now. Literally, the burn might still be enough for tick. Oh my god, he gets himself away just in the nick of time. The birds are still chasing him, actually. That burn as well. Oh, he still dies. The hate. In the meantime, Aegis still goes down, but it goes down to the dire side. Bane still gets dropped. Enlight frostbitten and taken down as well. Aegis drops. Heart still around there. We'll be trying to help Enlight get himself away, but I mean, there's no shame in that. Losing a Bane and losing the Aegis just to deny the Aegis and NEXT.kz, I think that's the right call. And they might be able to catch a bear. No, they won't. Oh, the arrow. Nice. Patient.
Good dodge. Yeah, second half of that fight really was good for Flipside. Like, yeah, they lost Venno, but it took all of Lone Druid's time, and he basically did the work for them for stealing Roche. Like, he did most of the rest of the HP, so that Enlight just had to walk in and hit it 3 times and take it. So that's a decent investiture of gold, and they don't have the Aegis, of course. They lost it almost immediately, but they'll be really happy with how that fight went on the whole, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, they're not losing the fight. Let's just say that. Like, they maybe not necessarily winning them, but they're keeping on even footing with NEXT.kz at this point, and that's all they need to do. They just need to hold on.
Yeah.
And find their openings, find their ganking potential, because a 5-on-5 real team fight, I'm not sure if they can win that, but if they can pick up some people with help of their puck and lifestealer combo, or hook shot and lifestealer combo, or any kind of combo, then yeah, that will be the right way for them to get ahead in this game.
Yeah, but they have to do it pretty soon. I mean, even though Storm still is, like, not really worth mentioning that much, the Mirana is getting pretty close to her Desolator, and that's going to be a huge deal, because Lone Druid and her will both be doing great damage. I mean, honestly, Visage too, like, Visage is relevant, because he's got 8.3k net worth. He's actually higher than Storm, and he's higher than the bottom 3 heroes of Flipside. This Aghanim Scepter means that with Medallion, which you can use on a BKB target like Lifestealer, and with Desolator, even the familiars will be enough to just kill Lifestealer outright. So that's a huge problem for Flipside that they can't really solve except by just pressuring very heavily before that happens, and probably Assault Cuirass is going to have to be the next item on Enlight. The other thing is that the Radiance is just tearing these underlevel supports apart. Like, at the time he made it, I said that for the next team fight after that it wouldn't make a big difference, but it definitely makes a difference for the pushes and now the fights now.
Yeah, for the Venomancer. Support.
Yeah, poor Venno.
Poor Venno. I like what Visage is doing with his familiars. He's just constantly having them on this bottom lane here, pushing the lane back. So even though they're not getting anything done right now, should Flipside leave this bottom lane alone, there will be damage done to the melee Rex. I'm gonna assume, or range Rex. I'm gonna assume range Rex since he doesn't regen. But oh, Moonlight Shadow looking for Enlight. Don't think they can find him though. Enlight is backing off, looking to go into the jungle to farm.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's dead.
Yep, Vortex, Arrow, Soul Assumption, no hope for him.
Their vision's pretty bad. They're just relying on poison wards for vision, which...
Yeah, they've got 1 ward on the bottom lane, but even that's not really helping. Look at
They've
that.
got 2 in stock, so like they have no excuse, really.
They should have at least 1 on the high ground where they have the poison ward that you said. Oh, Puck? Is he gonna try to take this bear? Bear and familiars. Both pushing out.
It's tough. It's also annoying because Puck, his maneuverability is constrained as long as the bear is on him, obviously, because it's going to disable his blink.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Tier 2 tower.
I believe he should be able to, like, I think he can Yules. No, he can't, never mind. Maybe if he uses just after a tick, he might be able to blink before the next tick happens after the Yules, but I'm not sure.
I think he should be able to.
Yeah, I think that works, but I don't play enough Yules Puck to know.
Likewise. I've not reached Puck yet in my A to Z challenge.
Oh, how far are you along in that?
Outworld Destroyer. Outworld Devourer.
Oh, so you're really close. You're really close to Puck.
Yep, but I've kind of put it on hold. Ooh, we have an Infest once again. Looks like Flipside doesn't want to fight in their base. I don't blame them for it, because if they fight in their base, they'll probably lose some towers as they go. Oh, Infest out already. They give up. They just defend. Familiars are right close by though, but the familiars only have like 1 damage on them, so they have to soon.
Yeah, they have to stun to get stacks. Touchdown.
Well, they do.
I like that.
Oh, BKBs, I hear them, but I don't see them. Gale up on 2, Mantis in the Fiend Script as well. In comes Heart. Nobody died just yet, and the Moonlight Shadow keeping everybody safe. Zip in. There is the BKB. That's gonna be Storm helping out, killing off the Bane. The Dream Coil just holding everybody back. And it looks like Flipside just backs off. Their Lifestealer almost died to the storm.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
At least that's what I think he did. Did you see where Storm BKB? Because I was on a different part of the fight.
I think just as he didn't get Fiend's Grip. Fiend's Grip was on Mirana, but I think right around then he did the BKB. Yeah. I mean, NEXT.kz takes a lot of damage to that fight, and they did have to use the BKB, but it's still a one fight for them. And the most important thing is you see how quickly Lifestealer has to disengage from a fight. Especially if they manage to keep him off of actually hitting anybody for big hits with the open wounds, like he drops like a rock. Like even the familiars weren't even hitting him that time. It was just Medallion and the Desolator Mirana. When you add the 2 Mirana illusions and Visage familiars, you're gonna have Lifestealer forced to do a really suboptimal ult just to survive, if he even has ult available and he didn't initiate. Visage. Yeah. Oh no, Reeves. Wow, this is. I can't believe Puck is going for a pretty late Dagon here. Wonder who's going to try to blow up with this. Probably Mirana, I guess. It
has to be. Yeah, kind of. Mirana, Crystal Maiden are the only 2 really fairly squishy targets that you have. I mean, you've got Visage that has the Gravekeeper's Cloak, so, you know, good luck with that. Storm has a BKB. It's fairly tanky. The only 2 has to be Mirana and a...
She's getting BKB as well.
Yep, almost done actually. Just needs the recipe for it.
He's pretty big. The good news for Flipside is, by this point, I kind of expected Lone Druid to be out farming Lifestealer, and he's really not. Lifestealer still has a higher net worth, and all of his items are good items, so he's got Armlet, Desolator, and now looks like he's going towards MK. No, sorry, this is probably a Basher.
Yeah, I guess the Hand of Midas is making a difference for Enlight. Well, that's good for him. It's just that, you know, as you already said at the start, he is the only core. So this Lifestealer has to compete with and Mirana, and Lone Druid, and Storm. Puck can do a little bit.
If he eats an Entangle, and he doesn't have ult up, it's over. Like, the entire fight is over.
1 Entangle is all it takes. I mean, the Entangles this game haven't been making that big of a difference, I find. It's Lone Druid is playing a secondary role in this team.
That's definitely true. I mean, the main thing Lone Druid gave them was better base race.
Yeah.
And that's the main problem for Flipside. They could be so much more aggressive if they didn't have to worry about this set of racks. You can see the supports are like, instead of doing earlier on in the game, the supports were doing this constant like river rotation where you go mid for a kill, you go bottom for a kill, you go top for a kill. And now every time they go anywhere for like a team fight or anything else, they have to like loop back to the tier 3s.
Yep.
So that constrains their movement a lot. And they're slow heroes, like neither Bane nor Veno, especially tier 1 boots Veno.
Especially Veno without Poison Over. Well, that doesn't matter for his
movement. Well, it doesn't affect his mobility.
It's still sad. He has got a Gem of True Sight now as well, so maybe they can get some map control back with that, but that will only happen if they also put some wards up for themselves, because even the ward that they did have has vanished. Do they have more
And Moonlight
wards
Shadow
up? Actually,
is really wrecking them too. Like every fight, Moonlight Shadow messes them up.
That is very true. Bane does have 1 sentry left, but now with the Gem of the Venomancer, that will help out a lot. He also, of course, has the mechanism, so kind of Venomancer is important not to die, and he's also forced. Like, I'm kind of thinking that's why he didn't go for his Poison Over, because that normally puts him in harm's way. And if he's gonna be the one to save the mechanism until his team really needs it, rather than when he really needs it, he can't be playing ballsy mode and just die for getting the perfect Poison Over off.
That's a really good point. I still think even if you just hit it on the bear, it's good. But he's gonna get it 10 and 11, so it's kind of moot. Like he's definitely gonna pick it up if he ever levels again in this game, he'll get Poison Nova. But Visage has now passed Puck in net worth, which is because there's so little of the map that Flipside feel comfortable going into. But this is a big deal. I mean, Visage now has a full pipe, so forget Dagon. Like it's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, it's probably more of a desperate pick from this Puck, I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, even
Veil though, should have gone Veil.
Should have gone Veil. Well, they go Infest again because already look at this range rack. The fortification comes out, but the Desolator and the Manta style is just hurting them. In comes the Blink, Infest out, Dream Coil upon 2, but the BKB is popped. Mantis though, hookshot upon, he might actually drop, leaps away, will be alive, and there was nobody that dies on the side of NEXT.kz, while on the side of Flipside, the 4th hero that just bought back dies again. Lifestealer died again. GG called, as Puck will try to escape his doom here, but I don't think it works. That's gonna be NEXT.kz winning their 5th game here in StarLadder Season 8.
Yeah. Bit of a weird game, but overall I think it's pretty simple. Like, Flipside had the killing lineup, and at 33 minutes they have 16 kills. 17 kills.
Yeah, 30 to 17. They were starting well, but probably too much rotations, you'd say?
You can afford to if they work every time, but yeah, as they kept doing it, the rotations got worse. NEXT.kz got better about TPing people over and stopping the rotations, and they never got those. You really need to either just get enough kills that the Bane hits that early 6 for Fiend's Grip, or you need to back off and get some farm.
Fair enough. Well, we're gonna see if NEXT.kz can also hold their own against a more stronger opponent, more known opponent, being Empire. So stick around for NEXT.kz versus Empire, because that will be our next match here at StarLadder Season 8, Day 4 of the season. Let's get to it.
Dude, I hate this patch so much. Do you know why?